Hey stock bros, hope everybody's having a phenomenal day. Today we're just going to talk about, hey, how can we find value into a company? How can we find a stock at a certain good price? Basically, we're trying to figure out when is the good time to buy it. And so I just want to present one example here to make this video quick. But it's been a lot of fun. The technicals have worked really well. And the way that I'm going to explain is this. There's several ways to look at a certain stock. You can look from a day trader point of view, a swing trader point of view, as long-term swing trader point of view. But mine is going to be a short-term swing trader. So I'll take advantage of price fluctuations between a week to a couple weeks to even like a month or so. And I'm basing everything off technicals. Yes, there's some fundamentals behind it, but it's going to be a little bit easier for me to just explain the technicals. And so I hope everybody enjoys and it makes this easy. Won't be too complicated. I'm just going to use one example. So yeah, so here we go. Let's just jump straight into Air Canada. So this is my account. This is where I primarily just do all my technical analysis. Makes it easier. It's a little bit easier chart for me to go ahead and explain, mark some lines, have indicators. So I typically use simple moving average, exponential moving average, RSI, MACD, and VWAP. These are my indicators. They work super well for me for what I'm doing. And the chart that I prefer the most, and again, this depends company to company, is the 180-day 4-hour chart, which you can find it right here. And currently I'm in on the 180 days. So I saw value in Air Canada due to a few reasons. So if we were to go back exactly 1 year, so this is the 3-year period. So right prior to COVID hitting, the stock was trading at about $40. And then the news that COVID was hitting, places were shutting down, everything. Countries were basically locking itself, isolating itself. The stock dipped hard from $40 all the way to $6 in a really short time. Yeah, it was a really short time. I forget how long it was, like 2 months or something. Anyway, something super crazy. Basically, what I did is you wait. Just if news are hitting, fundamentals are hitting, they will always overrule the technicals. And so you just wait, let things go, and wait for some form of a resistance. So what happened here in Air Canada was it was riding above the EMA line. It dropped below, just didn't even bother about the SMA line, just absolutely tanked. But then it's more or less stabilized at about $8, $8 to $10. This is in US dollars. And so that doesn't mean that I'll buy it right away. I'm not looking to take a chance with buying the dip, because when is the dip? I'll just zoom in here. And when was the dip? Was it this candle, this candle, this candle? We don't know. Like, things can go pretty hard, and there were several companies that went bankrupt, Hertz being one of them. And it's not fun when that happens. So what happened with the price was, let's go back to 1 year now. So what happened with the price? We saw it dip pretty hard. It broke above the EMA for the 1 year chart. Couldn't pass $15 and more or less stabilized there. And then what I noticed was there was certain price points that the stock was having a hard time to break below it. And when it did, it got quickly recovered. And then there were higher points which the stock was having a hard time breaking above it, and so it more or less stabilized between these 2 points. And I demonstrated this by having a 2 trend lines, 1 and 2. And so what happened here, I'll zoom in once more, is the price was bouncing between $11 and $14. And as a short-term swing trader, I want to take advantage of the short-term potential of the company. And so because I saw the price bouncing between these two, there were good indicators for me of when to buy and when to sell. And what do I mean by that is, once the price hit around $11, just about here, that indicated for me, hey, go ahead and buy. And if it doesn't go according to plan, put a stop loss. So never take a position unless you have an exit plan. And so that's exactly what I did. You have a stop loss slightly under. You gotta allow some room for the stock to play, to move. And so when it was reaching just about the $14-15, that indicated a good sell point because I wasn't sure when it was going to break above or if it was going to break above. And so the stock bounced many times between these two price points, and then I'll show you quickly here. So $11 it bounced once, and then I sold it around here, so just about $14-15, but the stock broke above. I can always buy back in. So what I did is you sell it at a certain position, and if it does indeed prove itself to break above, old resistances become new supports. And so because of that, you can always buy into your position and you can ride the wave higher above. I ended up buying it, I forget exactly, I think it was about $15 to $16. And then once it verified itself above the EMA line, and I believe I sold it at about $20. It hit highs of 22, and the reason why I sold it at 20 was because in previous 3 years, as we can see in 2017, the price was having a hard time breaking above $22, I should say. Once, twice, three times, and once the fourth time came, then finally broke above. And so I was cautious for that. I had the EMA just riding for the 3-year chart, just riding above that 22. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell it slightly before. Most likely it will get rejected. And if that's the case, I can always buy back in. And in my latest purchase was just about here. So as I saw the price hit 22, I was like, okay, there's a solid resistance there, which indicates that the price for a short-term swing trader is it's getting too high. So I sold, let it go at about $20. I waited for the price to drop. Sure enough, it did. Stabilized at about $18, and it dipped even more. The reason why I didn't buy it right here at $17, $18 was because it was still far from the SMA line. And at that time, it was currently riding below the EMA. So I waited for these two indicators to present itself for me. And so once it hit the EMA line, sorry, the SMA line, I added my position. So I bought, I think, $800 worth of Air Canada. It got rejected once more, slightly below, and it hit that previous resistance, which now is a new support at just about $15. I added more to my position. I added another like $800 or so. And then once it verified itself on the next day that we were seeing green candles and the MACD and the RSI were showing upward trend, then I added even more to my position. Why I did that at this price was because it was a clear stop loss position for me. Just in case the price was to keep on dipping, easy for me to get out. And so it has been working absolutely phenomenally. I think I'm up 30 some percent on this position, and I am looking to sell once again at just about 22. Obviously it doesn't have to go according to plan, and so I will be monitoring the intraday on how it's doing, if it's breaking certain resistance, if it's having a hard time to pass certain places. And so, yes, I will be monitoring, and right now everything's looking good. We're above the EMA, we're above the SMA. RSI is on the overbought, and so I definitely have to watch for that. And the MACD is pushing green candles for a long time, and so I will be selling this pretty soon, and I hope to be the 22 price point, but we'll see. I might have to sell it earlier. So anyway, hope this cleared up a little bit in regards to a short-term swing trader. When can you find good value? I primarily use technicals to indicate that, and but there's many ways to approach it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. See you guys.